most zombie pigmen spawned. Fastest time to kill 100 sheep. Furthest distance ridden on a pig.
Minecraft is 12 years old now, and during that time, players have set hundreds of truly insane records, but none of them are as dumb or as risky as this one. You see, I'm going to try and set an official Guinness World Record for a continuous marathon Minecraft session in virtual reality.
The worst case scenario, you can have what we call the generalized tonic-clonic seizure. Your brain will just completely switch off.
To pull this off, I'm going to have to game non-stop in VR for 2 whole days with a computer strapped to my face.
I don't think I can do this. I'd be sick.
But it gets even worse, because I've never actually played Minecraft, and if any of the equipment fails or one of the 30-strong crew makes a mistake like, oh, I don't know, falling asleep, then it's game over. So this is going to be 50 of the worst hours of my life. I'm fed up of talking, let's just get on with it. Right, how do we actually play this game anyway? Bruh. Yeah, 50 hours of that is probably going to be quite boring, so why don't I start by giving you some of the background. All right, so earlier this year, we raised $100,000 for Great Ormond Street Hospital in London when I ran an ultramarathon in VR chat. Check the video if you haven't seen it. Well, Gosh got back in touch to ask if we will be up for trying to break a gaming world record as part of a fundraising campaign to build a new cancer wing. So obviously, we said no. What do you mean no? I mean, no as in N-O, I won't do it. I'm not a gamer. I couldn't even break a world record in a game. It's a stupid idea and I'm not gonna do it.
You're the king of stupid ideas.
You're not wrong.
But seeing as we're about this controversial thing called the metaverse, which is kind of a game and most people think is about virtual reality, we did a little digging to see if there was a VR record we could take on, and there really was only one option.
Minecraft. Which is jokes, because as we all know, Minecraft isn't even a VR game. And double jokes, because I have never even actually played it.
Bruh.
I'm trying to swim! I'm so confused. And now what? Where have I gone? I'm so lame. What? Get me out of the menu.
You dead?
Yep. I suck at this. Rubbish. The first base I made was complete pony. I was too scared of any monsters to actually go anywhere or do anything useful, so I just kept dying over and over again. I'd drown in the water because I couldn't figure out how to swim in VR. And worst of all, I just kept getting lost. I would go off into the mountains to go and do something or explore, and I could never find my way back. And I put so much hard work in building a base or building up resources, and then I just lose them all. Frustrating, I can't tell you. But there were some people who were more than happy to chip in with some useful advice.
Daddy, you have iron. From the iron, make a bucket. Then go searching for diamonds.
All right, I'm trying to survive here. Oh, you gotta love those kids, right? But the thing is, there is method in this madness, because I'm not ashamed to admit that I suck at video games, and I really suck at Minecraft. But it does turn out there is one thing I am very, very good at, and that's dealing with pain. So to break a world record, I wouldn't have to get good at the game at all. I could just go hardcore endurance mode and just keep playing it for a really, really, really long time. So the longest video game marathon playing Minecraft is held by this French dude, Alexandre Junior, who managed 38 hours before waving the white flag. But because I'm an ambitious idiot, I figured we could be sneaky here and kill 2 records with 1 stone, because if we played Minecraft in VR, we could also go after another record, the longest video game marathon playing a virtual reality game, which stands at 48 hours and 8 minutes, which just sounds like a whole world of pain. But you know, it's a world record, you get a whole certificate and stuff. And remember, we're doing this for a good cause.
Yeah, I know. You're probably thinking the record isn't really that impressive, might not be that difficult, and you're not alone.
Me and my friend have already beaten this record, and it was very easy. Me a few years later, I must do it for 17 years.
I've got a friend beating it right now. He actually already has, but wants to beat it by exactly
10 hours. People are weird. I guess I'm weird too. So yeah, everybody is an expert. I'm sure there are hundreds of good citizens more than capable of defeating these pesky world records. But there is a simple reason why none of them do.
We have very strict guidelines, and you have to meet every guideline wherever you are in the world.
You see, to qualify for an actual official world record, you know, the Guinness one, you have to abide by a ton of rules. There are specific guidelines for every challenge. The record has to be signed off by an adjudicator. There have to be witnesses. And this just becomes way harder when you're doing marathon challenges.
And it ends up being really expensive, which is why all those eager beavers on Facebook never actually broke those records. It's just too hard to even set up an official attempt. And as it turned out, those pesky rule makers had another kick in the nadgers for us.
I'm in the middle of a game.
Sorry, but we've got a bit of a problem.
Oh no, what is it now?
We can only do one record at a time.
One, so I can't.
No.
Sake.
Okay, so here are the rules. We have to choose one game and play it continuously for the full time. I can't change modes or difficulties. I have to play continuously as the game was designed to be played. Standing idle or running around in circles means immediate disqualification. I can take a 10-minute break for every full hour played, and these minutes can be banked and used in a larger block if so desired. 2 witnesses must be watching me at all times, working in 4-hour shifts, keeping detailed notes, and if they're late, we could be disqualified. Clocks and stopwatches accurate to the second must be working and visible throughout, and detailed evidence logs must be kept of every single thing that happens.
But there is a reason they make all these rules. It's not just to verify the record, it's also to protect me, because this challenge, well, it is fundamentally very unsafe. Ow!
When Tim Cook unveiled the Vision Pro, it was like this big, finally, moment for the VR community. Yes, we'd be spending all of our time with a super powerful computer strapped to our faces, complete with creepy eyes.
But if we're really heading in this direction, does that mean we're going to be spending hours, even days, with a screen like right here? What does that even do to you?
What's the worst that could happen to me?
The major problem would be the long hours with the sleep deprivation. And in the worst case scenario, you can have what we call the generalized tonic-clonic seizure. You may have moments when you will fall into microsleeps. Your brain will just completely switch off, potentially result in some accidents, physical accidents.
So I'm just blacked out.
Well, potentially could happen. Heart rate can be raised, changes in the blood pressure, more prone to infections, hallucinations, delusions. You may not really perform very well at the game itself.
Wow.
There's a big part of me that's like, what the f are you doing, mate? Why put yourself through all this? Why put yourself at risk? Why piss off everybody to make it happen at the moment? There's no way I'm going to get anywhere near breaking this record. And I'll be letting a lot of people down. But I don't feel good about all of this. Not at all.
But honestly, the worst thing to happen to me during the entire attempt was something nobody saw coming.
Oh, God.
This is the bomb, the world's most deadly chili sauce.
It has a Scoville rating of 135,600, and it does this to people.
Wow! Got me.
And the producers thought it would be a terribly funny idea to have me consume a massive dose of it when a big donation came in.
Okay, Robin.
You bastard!
Oh, that's bad. So it wasn't just when you eat it and you start getting hiccups and wanting to throw up. The whole thing passes through your body and it tells you at every stage where it is and what's going on. I could feel it traveling down my entire intestines, stomach cramps, sweating. It's just like it almost killed the entire attempt, stone dead.
Oh man, seriously? Don't go in there. So that first day was pretty bleak, wandering around lost for hours on my own, constantly having to start from scratch while sleep deprived and with no clue how to play the game. I was genuinely starting to doubt I'll be able to get through it.
You know how marathon runners talk about hitting the wall? Well, this was it, except all I was actually doing was literally hitting walls, and weird things were starting to happen. My hands started to feel like they were claws, or like my fingers belonged to someone else. I had to keep shaking them out to remind themselves that yes, these are in fact my hands. But probably the worst thing was the ankles and my knees. You can't play the game sitting down, so I had to stand up for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I'd actually gotten up at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, but we didn't start the attempt until 12 hours later. and it was now 4 p.m. the next day. So I've been up for 32 hours, but I was only 20 hours into the challenge, not even halfway. And I was cooked. But then... Tristan! That is Tristan, aka Gaming for Bros, and without him, really none of this would have been possible. From setting up the server to the technical setup of the stream itself, T-Bone, as I like to call him, was an absolute hero. And now he was in the game with me. My Obi-Wan had arrived, and it was time to get to work because we had a mission. That's right. I wanted to slay the Ender Dragon before we broke the record, and that meant we had to hustle.
So we got to work building a base, mined a ton of iron, and finally got me a suit of armor to stop me getting wrecked so often. Fought a ton of mobs, went in a boat.
Never ride in a boat in VR.
Oh!
Just don't do it, ever.
Built a very cute little farm, ate lots of carrots, made friends with some pigs, killed lots of pigs, made a frash shield, went strip mining, and finally found our first diamonds. Diamonds!
Woo! Diamond!
Then Tristan built a mob farm, which I completely did not understand, but it doubled up as a handy way for us to find our way home.
The mob farm!
We made some obsidian, tried to build a nether portal, failed, and then finally got it right, and we were ready for the nether.
Watch out!
Oh, I feel horrible. We were not ready for the nether.
Oh, I almost had him. Don't get hit, don't get hit, don't get hit. Oh, wrong, I have to run. Let's go back, let's go back.
Sadly,
Bye.
Tristan had to leave at that point.
You better still be there.
But the mighty baseheads Michelle, Sentenza, and Mahathir jumped in, and just having other people to work with made the hours fly by. Slowly but surely, we started to turn the base into a place we could be proud of, with a portal to hell and...
Yeah, and that's when I hit the wall really badly. I'd now been playing for 31 hours. I've been up for 43 hours straight, and I was completely and utterly wrecked. My plan had always been to run as long as I possibly could in the first stint and give myself as big a window as I could to take a nap. The only question is, would I be able to keep going once I woke up?
Come on, man.
Yeah, goddamn right I would.
When I jacked back in, the gang had transformed the gaff with sleeping quarters, an underground pool, a conservatory, and fresh suits of gold and diamond armor. Bling bling, baby. We managed to build an enchantment table and get my sword some flashy firepowers. I even had time to do some fishing. And when Tristan returned, with my XP all jacked up, we'd be ready to take on the Ender Dragon.
I'm spectating. I'm not gonna die. I died.
What did I say, Robin?
But we found a skeleton spawner in a cave and fought those suckers till my XP was back, and now we could go get that dragon. But in order to give ourselves the best chance of success, Tristan had called in a few friends.
Look who's all here.
What? This was the best moment for me. I didn't even think about how tired I was. We'd brought in a bunch more base heads, and as we were traveling to the Ender Portal and racing across the water, looked behind me, saw all these people there, and it was epic. And I realized at that moment that we were gonna make it.
Ah, there's so many! Oh no, lava. Oh no.
With all that behind us, we plunged through the Ender Portal.
Bobby, do it.
No, I don't want to, it's scary.
And immediately set to work attacking the dragon heroically.
Oh, I got hit by the dragon, I'm dead.
Oh.
I never had a chance. But like the legends we are, we persevered, and in the end, good overcame evil.
Gonna hit it.
I'm hitting him with his balls, does that count? Come on, let's do this. For the climax of the whole stream. As the dragon finally succumbed to our lusty blows. Oh, look at that! Isn't she beautiful? Truth is, though, we still had another dragon to slay. That world record. By now, my knees, my ankles were completely and utterly shot, but we had to keep going. But did we make it?
Robin Smith and BasedHead, you are the Guinness World Records title holders for the longest video game marathon playing a virtual reality game. Congratulations.
Yes! Yes, we did it! We did it! I can't see it.
Paper and you don't want to click on it.
Of course we did. And here it is, an official Guinness World Records certificate, officially amazing. Plus, you raised a good chunk of change for Great Ormond Street Hospital as well. And I know there's one last burning question that you have. How do I become a basehead? It's easy. Just join the Discord, yeah? Peace!